I'd like to thank our fantastic faculty, the guest speakers, alumni, and my fellow classmates for a great experience. Food for thought, Caroline. You could have gave us a little more. We're talented. Also, I'd like to introduce my two visual aids back there. That's Amir White Showell. He's my great grand nephew, and my granddaughter, another Q name, Courier Tessa Pitchford. They are my visual aids for the day. When we were assigned this a topic, I was thinking about what I'm going to talk about. And recently we had an incident in the family dealing with mental health, and it showed me how the system failed. That's a negative thing. It showed how the judicial system worked perfectly, but it failed. I'm not going to talk about that. What I want to do is stay positive. That's why I brought my two guests here. My topic was planting the seed of education. First, I had one out there about the lost generation, but I'm not going to go there. As I was reflecting back, I was thinking, I said, wait a minute. As far as I can think back, I was going to college. I had no idea where the idea came from. No clue. I remember talking to my father. He's a mechanic and everything, and he just graduated. He didn't graduate from high school, but he's an expert mechanic, and he just wanted me to graduate from high school. I said, okay, fine. I just graduated from high school. I'll fulfill that mandate. But where did this idea to go to college came from? And I, asked the audience. I mean, we all probably went to college. We all college graduates went to college. Do you know where that idea came from? Well, during my personal reflection, I was thinking about, I went all the way back to kindergarten. And I remember coming home to my mother. She was in the house, in the kitchen doing hair. Back in the day, they do hair. They didn't have stylists and all that do hair. She was in the kitchen. And I announced to her, I'm going to marry Miss Monroe. She said, who's Miss Monroe? I said, it's my kindergarten teacher. She said, after I was ducking, leaving out of the room. And I had that impression. I mean, she must have put a powerful impression on me because I wanted to marry her. Matter of fact, I went as far as to take apples out of the refrigerator, and I brought her an apple every day. So back there, I mean, she had an impression. My education experience was positive. Then later on, I met Mr. Salters. He was a Korean veteran. And he had this long scar on his face. He was, I think, a 4th, 5th grade teacher. And he talked about military and all that stuff. He planted to see the military in my mind. But when he talked about it, he didn't say anything negative about it. He didn't. Back in the Korean War, as I learned, they didn't treat minorities pretty good back then. But I learned that later. But one thing he always said, he said, if you go into the military, be an officer. I said, be an officer? Okay, that's fine. I'll be an officer. Fine. So, but then I'm still thinking, where did this idea going to college? Not high school, not graduating, go into college. I said, okay. Junior high school, I had Coach Van Horn. We ran track. We used to come down here to Penn relays. And Coach Van Horn used to pack us up in his WV van. And we ran the event and did all that. But he took us out to eat after the meets. But he took the scenic route to Geno's. I don't know if people know what Geno's was, but he took the scenic route around the campus. And what he did, he didn't talk about track. He didn't talk about anything. He was just pointing out the different schools there. Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State. Just pointing out these schools. I'm walking around, I want to go to Geno's. But somewhere along the line, that impression, I said, wow, I want to go to Michigan. I like those colors. 3 minutes? Okay. So fast forward up, I said, let me start thinking about the different presenters. They kept saying their message was networking, reach back, empowerment, sharing, all these messages. That brings me to my two guests. I invited them here so they can see this talent in this room, to talk to a lot of educated people, to see the face of education and say to themselves, wow, looks just like me. So I like to close with this one quote. Experience is great. However, click. Damn it. Education teaches a person how to spell experience. Thank you.